Okay, we're going to say it's time to roll. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Connecting Entrepreneurial Communities Quarterly Exchange webinar. I'm Lisa Robinson, a field specialist in regional economic development with the University of Missouri Extension, and I was privileged to attend an event in Springfield called the State of Entrepreneurship. And there are a lot of organizations and programs that support entrepreneurs statewide in Missouri. And today we are very lucky to have those organizations with us to share with us what they do. I will remind everyone this is being recorded, so we would ask that you would please share this recording out with everyone. And with that, I'd like to introduce Rachel Monday, Executive Director of the E-Factory with Missouri State University, who has been gracious enough to get all the organizations rounded up for us today so that they can share how they support Missouri entrepreneurs. Rachel?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the introduction, Lisa, and thank you all for joining us here today. There's just a lot of excitement and momentum going on around entrepreneurship and innovation in our state. And so when Lisa reached out to see if we'd be willing to come and talk, I was fortunate to have the opportunity to pitch, like, what if we focus on really capital and connections, and then specifically around the SSBCI program. And so there's a lot of nuance to this SSBCI program, but you have an all-star slate here today to talk to you about ways to get involved. And so you're going to get to hear from Missouri Department of Economic Development. You're going to get to hear around the capital side, and then also technical assistance. And so this is a really great opportunity with resources that exist here in our state that you all can take advantage of really throughout the state of Missouri. And of course, this, I think, continue to build on lots of other really great resources that exist around entrepreneurship and innovation in our state. So again, thank you so much for taking time to meet with us. And I've just really loved working with all of our partners on this SSBCI program. And hopefully you've heard about some of these resources. And if not, you're going to get a lot of really great information today about a way that you can directly plug in. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Kim and have her share a little bit about Missouri Department of Economic Development and their role in SSBCI. So Kim, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Kim Frimsdorf. I'm the Director of the Federal Initiatives Division here at the Department of Economic Development, DED. Most of you are probably familiar with DED. If not, our mission is to create an environment here in the state that encourages economic growth. We support Missouri businesses and industries, communities, really working to strengthen our workforce, create a talented, skilled workforce, invest in businesses and provide support resources, and really just improve communities so that all Missourians can prosper and we have a high quality of life. One of the most impactful tools that we have in our toolbox right now is funding through the Treasury's State Small Business Credit Initiative that Rachel mentioned, SSBCI. It's a federal funding to states, reauthorized under ARPA, to increase access to capital for small businesses and entrepreneurs, including those and really focusing on those in underserved communities and entrepreneurs that we maybe haven't been able to reach before. So it's a really exciting time. It's quite a bit of funding. 3 or 4 years ago, DED, in collaboration with Missouri Technical Corporation or Technology Corporation, MTC, applied to Treasury for funding on behalf of the state. We were approved for just under $100 million in capital funding and $3 million in technical assistance funding. So it's really this monumental sort of once in a lifetime opportunity to get that much funding to be able to direct it to entrepreneurs in the state of Missouri and really catalyze some investment. Over the last couple of years, we've done a lot of outreach, put out RFPs, and contracted with subrecipients for administration of that SSBCI capital and technical assistance programming. Our subrecipients are MTC and, of course, Rachel at Missouri State University E-Factory, and they do all of the heavy lifting for SSBCI, particularly MTC, who has a huge amount of money that they can invest in communities, and then eFactory, of course, with providing supports for those entrepreneurs so that they're ready to apply for that funding. DED's role, we administer the funds, distribute those funds to our subrecipients. We're responsible for ongoing monitoring and program compliance, program changes, and just really trying to support MTC and eFactory in any way that we can, helping connect partners during this really exciting time. If you want to learn more about any of DED's other programs to support communities and businesses, absolutely connect with us. You can get email updates and press releases from the department on a regular basis to stay connected with us. So in addition to SSBCI, which obviously we're going to focus a lot on during this presentation, some of our other presenters are going to go into a little bit more. We also, though, have another tool in our toolbox, our new tool. Of course, I'm referring to the wonderful Tasia Gordon, who is the director of our new Office of Entrepreneurship. So with that, I am going to hand things off to Tasia to let you learn a little bit more about the hard work she's doing for entrepreneurs in the state.
Thanks, Kim. I mean, I've been called a tool before, but maybe in a different way.
A wonderful tool, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, thanks, Lisa, for inviting us all to speak today. So as Rachel said, really excited to share about everything that's going on in the state. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Office of Entrepreneurship. It's a new office within DED. It kicked off in October of this past year. So a lot of you probably haven't heard about it or really what the mission of the office is. So it was created to support the growth of entrepreneurship across the state. Our goal is to strengthen Missouri's entrepreneurial ecosystem so that we are here to support businesses and their needs, and so that the state can be more responsive to entrepreneurs' needs. We know that entrepreneurs don't experience government in silos. It's really more as a system. Sometimes that's more like a maze for entrepreneurs. And so our role is to help make that system more navigable for entrepreneurs, more coordinated and more informed. And we're doing that by connecting with entrepreneurs across the state and with the organizations that support those entrepreneurs as well. And so from there, we're helping inform policy recommendations to state leadership on how they can better support entrepreneurs. And so how are we doing that, and what is that looking like? So right now, what we're focused on in the next year, essentially for laying the groundwork for the office, we're doing a few different outreach sessions. Those are through entrepreneur listening sessions as well as stakeholder roundtables. So we're traveling across the state through all of our DED regions, and we're asking what is working, what is not, where are the friction points. And we're also conducting surveys, both with stakeholders and entrepreneurs as well. And so from that, we're gaining a lot of insights and feedback. And from that, we're building essentially an entrepreneurial ecosystem map across the state, and using that to look at, statewide, what is the state of entrepreneurship, and then regionally, how does that look as well? This way, we're building a clearer picture of really what is Missouri's entrepreneurial landscape, where resources exist, where gaps exist, and then where can coordination help improve outcomes. And then we'll be sharing those results essentially in a State of Entrepreneurship report annually. We'll share that with state leadership and legislators, as well as all of you also. And so we'll be communicating that as well, and with our entrepreneurs also. And so we'll be taking all of those insights and informing essentially state level strategy and using that to have policy conversations. So just as some information for all of you, some of the stakeholder roundtables, as Lisa said, we had one in Springfield that eFactory hosted for us. Thankfully, that was our kickoff one. We had a great turnout there. And so we have some more that we've already conducted and that will be coming up here in the next few months, as well as entrepreneur listening sessions as well. So I invite any of you that are interested in participating in those, please reach out to me, and we'll make sure that you're connected and can participate in those. Your insight is welcome and invaluable to us in building this database. Here's some contact information if you'd like to get in touch. The website, we're building that out. So if you go there now, you probably won't see anything, but that will be where you can find all of the information in the upcoming months as far as where listening sessions will be and the State of Entrepreneurship report as well that I referenced. So just encourage you to stay in touch. And if you go to the DED link that Kim had referenced also with updates, there is also a link there to stay in touch with entrepreneurship, the Office of Entrepreneurship, and news and information that we'll be putting out as well. So I encourage you to link up with that as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim and Tasia, and for everyone. Like, it's been just so exciting to see DED's role, of course, in economic development, but also the focus that they've placed on innovation and entrepreneurship as part of economic development, and lots of really good things going. So make sure you sign up and stay informed. And we're super excited to have Tasia join the DED team. And so next up, I'm going to bring Julia, who's with Missouri Technology Corporation. And Missouri Technology Corporation, or MTC, as you'll hear it referenced, has just been a huge partner and leader in the innovation and technology space, entrepreneurship space, and has done so many wonderful things for, of course, entrepreneurship support organizations, but also entrepreneurs themselves. And so MTC is the lead in the capital program. So 2 different programs with SSBCI Capital Program and Technical Assistance. And so Julia is going to take us through a little bit about MTC as well as the 2 capital offerings. So Julia, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm so pleased to be here with you all. I probably have too many slides, so I'm going to go through mine a little quick, if that's okay. But so pleased to be here with you all. My name is Julia Campbell. I'm kind of holding 2 roles right now. I'm interim executive director as well as Idea Fund manager, and happy to tell you more about MTC and our role in providing these SSBCI 2.0 funds. So MTC, we are a public-private partnership with the state of Missouri. We were created by the Missouri General Assembly to promote entrepreneurship and drive innovation in the state. And we have a couple ways that we do that. Can we go to the next slide? So entrepreneurship and innovation is a huge part of our economy. So it comprises a significant portion of the total employees, and businesses with 10 or less employees create a lot of the new jobs in our state. So it's really critical for us to support entrepreneurs with capital and programming to help them drive their businesses forward. Next slide. MTC has 2 sides of what we do. So we have an ecosystem building side where we provide grant-based support to entrepreneur support organizations that are working with entrepreneurs to create those physical spaces where they gather, to run programs that support them with mentorship and resources. So we have one side, which is ecosystem building, and then another side, which is our state-sponsored venture capital program called the Idea Fund. And that's where our SSBCI 2.0 dollars are really focused on. We make direct equity-based investments into early stage companies, usually focused on technology and science. And we have kind of a process that we'll share about how we accept applications and what kind of sub-programs fall under that. Next slide. So this state-sponsored venture capital program, MTC ran the program in the 1.0. So this is the second time that the SSBCI program has been operated. Through that program, we put $25 million and invested that into 80 companies, which have gone on to attract significant private capital, which is kind of the goal of the program, that you support these companies with these direct equity-based investments as part of their venture capital funding round. It pairs with additional private capital, and as the company grows, we see the job creation within Missouri. We see the additional private capital that the companies can attract, and then we see potentially exits where it's a return of capital. So MTC has invested, I think actually we're at 60 million now. I need to update that. My apologies. To over 160 early stage high growth potential companies in Missouri. And those portfolio companies have gone on to create over 8,000 jobs and raise over 2.2 billion in additional capital, as well as we've seen 22 exits. If you click forward, I think you'll see a couple of just logos of some of the companies that we have supported over the years, and we're very actively deploying the SSBCI 2.0 funds right now through the Idea Fund. If you go to the next slide. So some of the goals of what we look for in terms of making these investments, we're looking to generate that economic impact of creating jobs, and we only invest in Missouri-based companies with their corporate headquarters based in Missouri. We're looking to have our investment awards help the companies attract additional private capital into their business and into Missouri. And then we're really looking for that innovation that comes with, what startups are doing to commercialize new technologies and drive in an innovation within the state. Next slide. So companies that are in the early stage space, that might be science or technology based companies with that high growth potential, we would encourage them, if they're raising a venture capital funding round, to apply to the Idea Fund as part of that venture capital raise. So the companies will need to have the ability to, if they're awarded an investment award, be able to close that investment and their funding round within 6 months. That funding round includes a matching co-investment that they would have to secure to match MTC's investment. Companies with that corporate headquarters based in Missouri and plan to grow their business in the state for the long term. We have these areas of focus that we always look for opportunities that fall into these industries, because these are prominent industries within the state that we hope to catalyze with this funding. But essentially, we're industry agnostic, but we do look for opportunities that fall into these areas. Next slide. So we have 3 sub-programs that are designed for pre-seed, seed, and Series A stage funding rounds. But those are not the only funding rounds that companies can apply for MTC's participation. Essentially, MTC will participate in 10 to 25% of the capital that is coming into a company as part of their funding round. And we will typically provide checks in the size of that second column or row for $100,000 checks, up to $500,000 checks, and then up to $2 million checks. And that's going to be for the funding rounds that are typically going to be the $100,000 checks are going to be for $1 million rounds or less. Seed capital program is going to be for $1 million to $5 million funding rounds. And then the venture capital program requires a lead investor and is going to be for companies that are raising between $5 and $20 million. MTC cannot invest in companies that are raising more than $20 million. Next slide. So as I mentioned, we prefer for our investments to represent 10 to 25% of the new capital being invested into the company. We do require a co-investment to match MTC's investment, and that's typically going to be to close the funding round and to close alongside MTC. We typically will invest in convertible notes and equity securities, but we know safes are also all the rage right now, so we often will see those as well. And any investments closed prior to MTC's investment award cannot be considered a matching co-investment, but could be considered part of the funding round. Next slide. So we typically will co-invest alongside individual angel investors, angel investor networks, and venture capital firms. We do look for those investors to have subject matter expertise, because MTC is essentially an industry agnostic, that we know that they need investors with that subject matter expertise to help them with those next stages of the business. And we will kind of determine these matching co-investors on a case-by-case basis, but we work really closely with the awarded companies as part of that process. So any applicant that is seeking to grow with venture capital and planning to raise a venture capital funding round, we encourage them to apply to MTC as in one of our quarterly cycles. So how the process works is that they will submit an application on our website. It will be reviewed by our investment team. Typically, the top quarter of applicants will proceed to our investment committee, where they will be invited to deliver a 10-minute pitch along with Q&A to our investment committee. And then from that, the investment committee makes recommendations to our board of directors on which will be selected for an investment award. Next slide. Once the investment awards, so that whole process takes about 90 days. And then once the award's been made, the companies have 6 months to go out, get the additional venture capital commitments, conduct due diligence with MTC, and close MTC's investment alongside the matching co-investor. So that could be, 45 days, after an award, or it could take as long as 90 days, but the companies do have 6 months to complete these last stages to transition it from an investment award to a investment. Next slide. So the next deadline, application deadline for any companies that might be interested in applying, or any companies that you know of, we'd welcome the recommendations. Application deadline is May 5th for the July cycle. So if any companies apply by May 5th, they will receive a notification of the investment of any investment awards by the end of July. This is the link to our application, which we use the SurveyMonkey platform to take those in. And if anyone has any questions, I think maybe the next slide, I have my contact information. So the Idea Fund at Missouri Technology Corporation is going to be the best way to get any questions answered about how the Idea Fund works. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this with you. Happy to answer any questions offline if folks have that. I also would like to introduce Ida Richardson, who is MTC is partnering with to operate the Ignite Mo program. So this is going to be funding for businesses that might not, be on that high growth trajectory and raising venture capital, but might be seeking some more traditional financing to support their business. So I'm going to pass it over to Ida to tell more about Justine PETERSEN and the Ignite Mo program.
Thank you, Julia, for the introduction, and thank you for having us. Justine PETERSEN, it's a nonprofit group that is based in St. Louis, but we serve all of the Missouri. So if any business anywhere in Missouri requires funding, you can apply. So what we do as part of the SSBCI program, we administer the loan portion of the program. Justine PETERSEN has been in business 30 years this year. We are federal government certified SBA lender, USDA lender, CDFI. We have over $98 million in total assets and touched over 40,000 lives and businesses in Missouri. Next slide, please. Yep. So who we serve? We work primarily with those businesses that don't qualify for conventional bank loans. So we do provide not just the funding, but also the small business guidance as well. We have done on the lending side closer to $300 million in over 25,000 loans and supported over 29,000 jobs. We do serve very small businesses. By definition, it's the businesses with less than people employed or in the business. 90% of our borrowers are qualified for that very small business category. We do provided funding to over 54% of our borrowers were women-owned businesses and minorities, with 77% of African Americans and 60% of low to moderate income individuals. But everybody who we serve are socially and economically disadvantaged borrowers. Next slide, please. So what is the SSBCI program is designed for socially and economically disadvantaged borrowers. So what that is, there is a definition that we're using from the Treasury side, and it can be any minorities, gender, veteran, disability, long-term residents of rural areas, and sometimes there are exceptions and people identify as other areas of underserved communities. So in order to qualify for a specific loan program within the SSBCI product, we would need, the borrowers would need to self-certify. So the terms of the Ignite Missouri business loan, which is the loan product for the SSBCI program, we can go up to $500,000, and the loan can be as small as $25,000. We can go up to 5 years in repayment. We do have fixed interest rate of 14% and the origination of 3% that we finance from the loan. There are a few small fees associated with this, but otherwise 3% it pretty much covers the origination. The loans can be used, which we use a lot for working capital, assisting buying equipment, and at times we even assist to buy commercial real estate for the business. Those loans are for non-passive businesses. So if there is a rental income or anything related to real estate development, unfortunately, it won't qualify, but you can always talk to us and we will see what can be done within that program. We do require personal guarantees of all owners of 20% and more. We do have some flexibility with collateral. Any loan over $100,000, we do have some flexibility with in terms of available collateral, but anything over $100,000, we do require 100% equity in the collateral. The business would need to be in good standing with the Missouri Secretary of State, and the business will need to have established business entities. So those loans cannot be for sole proprietorship. But we do work with both startups and existing businesses. So if any borrower currently is working as a sole proprietor, they can just file that business entity, whether it's LLC or corporation, on the Missouri Secretary of State, and then they would qualify for the program. Borrowers cannot be debarred from borrowing federal government funds. So we do run reports. And if in the past business owners have any federal government debt that they defaulted on, unfortunately, they would not qualify. Same on the personal side. Let's say there was a federal government student loan that was not repaid, then again, that will disqualify them from the program. And as I mentioned before, businesses would need to self-certify that they identify as the economically disadvantaged business. So up to this point, we have done 189 loans within that program with over $17 million, 17.3. That's the number as of now. There is a pretty much number of business field that we have done loans in, but we do service all of the types of the businesses as long as they're legal based on federal government regulations. Next slide, please. And that was in the nutshell. We do have pretty tight timeline for today. My contact information is on the screen. So if you do have any interest in applying to the loan, please send me email or give me a call and we will discuss and start the application right away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie and Aida. And so now you guys have heard about all the capital that exists that's out there for entrepreneurs and startups really throughout Missouri. And so next we're going to hear about the technical assistance program. And so programs that exist to help people be able to apply for that capital. And so James, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Rachel. And I'll continue the pattern of trying to move swiftly through what is a large number of slides. And I hope you can also overhear the train that is going by the building as I speak. So eFactory and the organization that I founded in 2015, Codify, formed this network called the Show Me Network, announced about a year ago, that grew out of something that we called the Southern Missouri Innovation Network that we started about 3 years ago. Codify specializes in tech-based economic development programs, both startup and workforce. And we obviously joined forces with the e-factory across the state from Cape Girardeau, really with the idea of being able to take some of the programs and resources that we have developed over the last decade that had proved to be so successful and share those with partners in other similar communities, beginning first in Southern Missouri, and obviously with the expansion now to the Show Me Network in similar regions across the state. Next. And the concept behind the network is really just collaborating and working together to make it easier and more sustainable for local communities to be able to subsidize some of the programming that they may already have, to support entrepreneurs, both Main Street entrepreneurs and any tech-focused entrepreneurs that they may have. And we organize the network around the roles of regional community connectors, and we have a host of training partners that provide access to their programs. Regional connectors are obviously, along with community connectors, the boots on the ground in the region to make sure they are helping us let folks know that these programs are now available. As Rachel mentioned, it is our jobs on the small business side and tech business side to try to help improve the likelihood that the entrepreneurs in your community are highly competitive and prepared to be able to access the capital that was talked about earlier. Next. And we're thrilled that, honestly, this ever-growing list of logos far exceeds now ability to put them on a slide. Higher ed, community economic development organizations all banding together to try to improve local outcomes that we know that small business and entrepreneurs generate. Next. So Codify is responsible for delivering the technology-based programs through the Show Me Network. And I don't have near enough time to tell you all about our programs and all the information that you may be interested in knowing about them. This is a readable set of slides, and I know that Lisa's going to share this deck, and that's why we included them. I'll make very quick comments. I mentioned that we do both skill-based training, what you may think of as workforce development training, as well as startup development. How that matters in terms of the topic today about helping entrepreneurs prepare to raise capital is in the tech area, the lines have really blurred between workforce and startup development with the onslaught of AI technology. So I'll share a bit about Codify's new programs. They were all actually just announced in recent weeks. Every one of our programs is available virtually or on demand delivered. They're all now AI-based and powered, and we're really trying to help take advantage of these amazing new tools and really better equip entrepreneurs in all of the regions of Missouri. A set of AI skill programs is available. If you're familiar with vibe coding, it's today's AI era term of how to develop software. Without knowing how to code, you can use AI technology to prompt systems that develop the code and software for you. This obviously means that where previously founders would have to find a co-founder if they weren't technical and were a software engineer, honestly, anybody now can do a pretty good job developing prototypes and first level products in software. So we have a series of these courses that are available across the state. They're at no cost based on funding provided through a variety of different grant sources. And we have programs that really will meet people where they are, whether they have any experience in software development or not. Next. Obviously, I mentioned that these are delivered in a variety of formats. What most of you would be interested in is if your local folks could get access to virtual or live on demand, and they certainly can. Next. And we have very high quality delivery systems. Codify's been delivering this kind of training for over a decade, and it's allowed us to really learn what are the keys to success for local folks to access these programs, including becoming a part of a statewide and, in our case, even national community. Everybody that participates in one of our programs get access to communities that not only will we continue to support their needs, but colleagues that are going through the same programs around the country will do that as well. Next. In terms of helping entrepreneurs that are trying to start or grow high-tech companies have success, or what we call traction, we have developed and launched an AI native platform called Traction Studio AI. If you have someone in your county, community, region that comes to you and says, hey, I have an idea for a software technology that I think would help in the high-tech manufacturing sector, but I'm not sure what to do from there, we would love for you to refer them to the showmenetwork.org website or directly to codifyworks.com, and we'll give them access to this amazing new platform. It's a combination of AI intelligence, really amazing world-class tools that we've developed over the years, and obviously human touch and ongoing support and services that really step-by-step help people take that idea along a path to deciding if that idea can become a venture financeable and venture-worthy business. And then even beyond that, in other phases in the platform, obviously helping them incubate and accelerate that company. Next. Thanks, Rachel. So I mentioned the platform actually supports users along kind of the three phases of startup development that we're all familiar with: ideation, incubation, and acceleration. When those companies begin to move into acceleration, we obviously then are ready to help support them in preparing what they would need to do to apply to MTC's Idea Fund. Some companies that are even in the incubation phase may be ready to do that as well. So our job is to help people validate their business models before they get too far along. With AI tools now and the ones that are integrated into our platform, we're even able to help them vibe code prototypes so they can demo, and even MVPs that they can go to market with. Next. And speaking of those programs that help prepare for the SSBCI Equity Capital at MTC, our program that we've delivered for several years now is called Ready to Raise, also available virtually now on demand. It's a multi-phase or module program that starts really with some beginning education about different types of equity capital, and then really moves the founder and their team through very hands-on applied skills and artifact development, helping prepare them to raise capital. Next. This is a layout of the 5 modules in the program, so you can really see we start by helping individuals in your communities figure out if they should try to raise capital, helping them understand kind of the basics of terminology and instruments, and even making them aware of organizations like MTC and other private funds, doing what we call Get Investment Ready, really all the mechanical kinds of things that are going to be required of them, very in-depth pitch decks and forecasting and documentation that gets created. We also help them prepare for pitching and obviously getting feedback in practices that they do from experts and people who have been doing this a long time, and even something we call a battle sheet, which is preparing to take on investor questions when they get those. With the last module, really then being focused on going to market with their raise, identifying strategically funds and organizations that are a good fit for their type of company and the capital they're raising, and then supporting them to apply and move from there. Next. We offer a variety of other programs that we would love to partner with you and talk about delivering in your regions. One of these is an AI-focused industry startup studio. We are in the final stages of a health tech studio that we were able to deliver in the Joplin area. We have an ag tech studio going on in Southeast Missouri. These are a program where we can take an industry sector that's important and one you're trying to grow in your region and help you identify among the companies in that sector technology problems that they may not have solved yet, and then helping develop AI-based solutions to solve those problems. And the goal of the studio is obviously to help plant a local software company. So if you're interested, please check into that, and we'd love to talk to you about whether or not we could help you do that. Next. And we also, a couple of years ago, announced an effort to raise our own private venture fund for Southern Missouri. And we've raised a little under $2 million for what we call Innovate SOMO funds. The fund was really created with the idea that it would provide some co-investment for MTC and other similar funds. We're about to announce the first 8 or 9 investments from that fund, a little less than $1 million. And again, those are all companies in Southern Missouri that are raising capital, and we're able to augment that through local, both nonprofit and for-profit investment funds. Next, Rachel. And also through a grant funded by the Missouri Technology Corporation, we're trying to help provide additional information to individuals, family offices, and other foundations who may be interested in doing more investing in high-tech environments, either through angel or venture capital investing. We have 2 different programs that we're delivering in this area. One is with a partner, Capital Innovators from the St. Louis region, where there's access to online and video-based education. And another is a program of Codify's that's a little more focused on kind of new models in philanthropic capital that we're helping drive. And again, information about those is on both websites. And next, I will turn it over to my friend and partner who does the technical assistance work for, leads it from eFactory, Crystal Irons.
All right. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. And so, while Codify and his team, they are helping James's team, they're helping us provide the technical assistance to our tech companies. We want to ensure that we are helping businesses in any industry across the state of Missouri. And so with our technical assistance, our goal is always to provide easy access to experts that our entrepreneurs need to be successful as they start and grow their companies. So people can connect with our team or others across the state providing technical assistance really with a click of a button. We have programs and services for startup companies as well as companies that are truly looking to scale their business in the state. We've been hard at work on a mentorship program for many years with the eFactory, and really excited to continue to expand that. We have mentors all across the state, in Kansas City, St. Louis, Springfield, and rural areas, and really diving into expertise that businesses need, like human resources, marketing, and really being able to pinpoint specific questions that business owners have and connect them with experts that can get those answers for them. And then, of course, through our partnership with Missouri State and other universities across the state, we can connect them to talent. And then, of course, if they need to start and locate their businesses somewhere, we work with a variety of other incubator and co-working centers like eFactory. We're excited to share that we have a lot of business foundations training for entrepreneurs. We're doing these both in person across the state with our regional community connectors and training partners. And so if you don't see something in the near future in your community, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or to Rachel or James, and we would love to work with you and ensure that we get business training in your area. But we also have a variety of training programs that are either on demand or virtual. We have an exciting lineup of programs in partnership with Justine PETERSEN. You just heard from Aida today about their Ignite Missouri program, but we are talking about, business planning, how to access capital, understanding financial statements, really the gamut of things that business owners need to know as they start and grow their business, and all of those are virtual. We're also working with an accountant who is providing some really great financial management training, things like QuickBooks and understanding financial statements. And then we have an attorney who is helping us provide technical assistance as well. And they will be having a whole host of virtual training sessions available on a variety of legal issues and government contracting issues that we know our business owners face every day. So we know that as businesses grow, their needs change just a little bit, and so our team has been really hard at work trying to understand those needs and ensure that we have programs and services in place. So we have partnered over the last couple of years with the Great Game of Business to really help people take their business forward and elevate it, and really turn those employees that they're growing, that employee base, and help them think and act like owners, which is what the Great Game of Business helps them do. And it teaches everyone in the business financial literacy. And so we have a variety of training programs and 2 certified coaches who can help businesses who are interested in exploring the Great Game of Business and playing the game. We have some exciting Lego Serious Play training, and this is really just a different way to think and plan in your company, or maybe build teams or change management. So we can do a variety of different things with Lego-based serious play trainings, but we can come in and do some customized training for companies as they grow. And then one of the most exciting programs that we have added into kind of our slate of things that we can offer is something called Value Builder. And so this is helping companies understand, first of all, what is the current value of my company? What is it today? And we do that with a few different methods. And so they'll get a little bit of a different idea based on some different methods. But then the best part is that we're really coaching them through 8 different ways in which we need to start thinking about increasing value in their company. And so it gives them specific action steps to continue to build value in their company. And it also helps our entrepreneurs, our actual business owners, help them take off a few of those hats and maybe delegate things as their company grows. And so Value Builder is something that I'm excited to share, and hopefully you'll see much more about as we continue. But in terms of technical assistance and around this SSBCI State Small Business Credit Initiative, we specifically want to make sure that businesses have access to accounting services. So again, I mentioned we have an accounting provider. So this provider is not going to step in and do bookkeeping for people, but they are there to help educate our business clients, and absolutely there to answer questions that people have. And so businesses across the state can, through our technical assistance, can make an appointment with our accounting provider and get some quick answers to questions that they have, and then kind of get them started on the next step that they need to work with their own accounting provider. We're specifically wanting to help businesses around planning. So that could be planning, how am I going to get started? But it absolutely can be planning, I'm 5 years in and I need to take my next step, and what does that look like? So all stages of business planning is very important. We want to help people understand their financials, and we absolutely want to make sure that they're looking forward and budgeting and projecting those. And this is really important when they're looking to get a loan from someone like Justine PETERSEN and their other lenders in their own area as well. We are, I mentioned, partnering with an attorney, and Seed Law is our partner there, and they're providing technical assistance. And so just as with the accounting services, people can connect with our technical assistance provider and get some legal advice to specific things that they are looking for. And then that will also then put them on to kind of the next step that they need. And one of the biggest things that we are doing through the SSBCI Show Me Network is really providing that loan assistance for business clients really through that journey. So they're looking for funding. They're not really sure who to approach. We can work with them on, who are those lenders in your area? What are you looking for? And who might be the best few that you should go and talk to? How much money are you looking for? Don't ask the bank, how much can I borrow? You want to be able to answer that question. I need X dollars, and I know I can pay that back. And so we help people through that process. We absolutely can help through the loan application process, filling out paperwork, developing those financial projections, and then any other type of thing that they need as they go through that with their lender. Aida and I just worked together with a small business client in the Branson area on a loan. And so that process, we're there really to be kind of supporting that business owner, working with the lender and making sure that we make progress so that they can get that loan closed as soon as possible. So it is very easy to connect with us for technical assistance. This is our landing page for the Show Me Network. And if you click on small business there, you'll see a drop down and you can literally just click on talk to a consultant. It will take someone to a form that they can fill out a bunch of necessary information. Aida shared, the types of businesses that we are looking to support through the SSBCI program. And that's really what this form helps us understand is, are they eligible? And so this is where, as a referral, you could send someone. This comes to our team directly, and then we follow up with the person who fills this out and basically saying, here's a link to schedule on our calendar. We assess their needs and then make sure that they can get with our team, get with our legal provider, or get with our accounting provider. If you're a tech company, you do the same thing. You just click on the tech link and fill out a form, and that goes directly to our team as well. And we'll ensure that you get scheduled with somebody on the Codify team to make sure that they get those companies into the programs that make the most sense for them as well. So with that, I love to turn it back over to Lisa Robinson. And Lisa, again, from all of us at Show Me Network and providing this SSBCI support, thank you for having all of us today.
Well, you are most welcome, and thank all of you for all this information that you put together. I hope everybody's learned a lot. I'm going to go ahead and put our Connecting Entrepreneurials Communities website. We would love to invite you to join us in Maryville in September at the conference. We are accepting applications for presentations right now. You can find all of that on our website. And I'd like to invite any of you that have a question, if you want to unmute and ask your question right now, please do. And while we're doing that, I just want to recognize my colleague, Jackie Spainhauer. She is behind the scenes today, taking care of everything, making sure it's all flowed smoothly. So thank you, Jackie. And Jackie did just post our survey. If you would all click on that survey, so when we're done today, it's a very brief survey. We really do appreciate your input. We need to know how best to serve you. So we'd appreciate you taking that survey for us. And then, like I say, you can unmute and appreciate this team today. You brought it in right on time, and we appreciate that and hope we keep you busy. Do we have any brave souls out there that want to ask a question?
I can ask a question.
All right.
I saw on one of the pages that crowdsourced investments do not count as the co-investments, and I was curious if that was crowdsourced as in like donation-based crowdfunding, or if it also includes investment crowdfunding.
This is Julia. I can take that one. Yes. So it's going to be crowdfund. It's both essentially, because of the terms. It depends on the terms. If it's by donors, then that won't qualify, or if it's a philanthropic method. But if it's crowdsourcing, there you have an SPV that was spun up by groups, that could potentially qualify. So if you have any specific questions or a specific scenario, I'm happy to take that offline and provide some more specific guidance.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I had a question. I'm Steve Winger in Northwest Missouri. We represent 18 counties in Northwest Missouri, mostly in smaller towns. If we had one of our cities that are not a part of St. Joseph, the St. Joseph Chamber is the only Show Me Network member, it looks like. Do we need to qualify to go through an existing partner like the St. Joseph Chamber? Or can these small towns, Albany, Bethany, Maysville, those sorts of towns, can they take advantage and use the services of the Show Me Network, or do they need to be a part of a member of the network?
Yeah, so Steve, I'll take that one. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. We want to work with all area communities. And so if you have a community or several communities that would like to work with us, please reach out to me, Crystal Irons, and I'm happy to get with Lisa and make sure I have your contact information as well. We're meeting with several communities on the northwest side of the state. And so I want to make sure that we're meeting with people in your area as well. So in order to refer people and businesses to take advantage, anybody across the state is more than welcome to just hop on the Show Me Network website, request services, whether it's the small business services or the tech-based services. Specifically, what we have our regional and community connectors do is we're constantly communicating with them about things going on in the network. And so we make sure to push out, events that are happening virtually. We also make sure to ask, are there things that you want to do in your own community? And then how can we work with you to do those things? And then just to make sure that you know what services are out there so that you can share those with your local businesses. And so by no means do you have to specifically be a part of the network, but we absolutely want you to be. And so, yes, please reach out to me, and I will throw my email in the chat right now as well.
Thank you. I'll do the same.
And I believe we posted a new link to the survey in the chat as well. For those of you that did get the error, we do apologize. If you would click on that new link to see if it will work for you. I've got a thumbs up, so I appreciate that. Do we have any other questions? Okay, if not, I'm going to send up some applause from the reaction for everyone today. So thank you everyone for presenting, for attending. You will be getting this recording sent to you, and please feel free to share this recording out so we can get the word out across the state and just make Missouri stronger. So I appreciate all of you for attending today. We thank you for your time in what is a beautiful Friday in Southwest Missouri. I hope everybody has a great evening and weekend, and hopefully we'll see you back here in May at our next quarterly CEC exchange webinar. So thank you for your time today and attendance, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.